Thomas.
I'm Brian Andrews in for Elliot. CBS 4 News at 5 and High Definition starts right now. Police say several tips led them to this specific location. CBS 4's Ted Scouten is live on the scene where this all-day search goes on. Ted? We are tracking the tropics tonight, and Tropical Depression number 2. It formed this morning near Belize, and the new advisory and future track are just in. CBS 4's David Bernard here with the latest information. David? We have this just in. Days after a deck collapse at a popular South Florida restaurant, a chief building official says he can only assume the deck was inspected according to code. North Bay Village building chief Paul Rodriguez says he signed off on the required 40-year inspection of Shuckers Restaurant because he assumed the deck was included in that inspection because a picture of the deck was included in the paperwork. He says he noticed exposed corroded steel when he checked out the scene on Friday. When pressed today by reporters, Rodriguez says he regrets everything that's happened and does not blame the inspector. He says the restaurant owners took out a permit to rebuild the deck in 2010, but it expired earlier this year. The village mayor says she plans to make sure all decks are properly inspected in the future. CBS 4's Lauren Pastrana will have much more on the latest in this investigation of the Shuckers deck collapse coming up on CBS 4 News at 6. The Miami Heat's run for the ring heads home tomorrow night, and if the Heat can't win on their home court, their dreams of a second straight NBA title are over. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and the rest of the Heat squad returned to South Florida very early this morning following a disappointing Game 5 loss to San Antonio. CBS 4 sports anchor Kem Bokamper is here now with a look at where the team will be going from here. Kem, this is really down to the wire for the home team. Miami-Dade police would like you to take a very good look at this surveillance video. Police hope this newly released tape will help them catch some criminals. You can see the burglars coming into the business through a ceiling. They then grab as much as they can and go back out the same way they came in. The crooks have hit the same business at Southwest 216th Street near Dixie Highway several times and have gotten away with about $7,500 worth of merchandise and Florida lottery tickets. Call Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS if you have any information. He says he did sign off on a required 40-year inspection. But CBS 4's Lauren Pastrana joins us now live outside Shuckers with how that approval came with one big assumption. Lauren. Now to the eye on the storm and a live satellite picture of the second tropical depression to form this hurricane season. CBS 4's chief meteorologist David Bernard is tracking the system. He joins us with an update. David? Tonight, friends and family remember a 4-year-old boy found dead in his mother's Coral Springs apartment. Police have still not figured out how little Antoine Hopes died officially. CBS 4's Carrie Codd joins us live from outside Mount Zion Baptist Church in Pompano Beach with more on this story. Carrie? A South Florida animal shelter is well on its way to being dubbed no kill, but not everyone agrees with the move. How much it will cost you in the wallet. And the grandson of the famed Jacques Cousteau follows in his grandfather's footsteps. His mission to spend a month below the surface. Today, always animated Broward County Judge John J. Hurley did not mince words when addressing a defendant accused of texting obscene messages to whom he thought was a 13-year-old girl. Richard Marcelino appeared in bond court today. Police accuse him of first trying to get the phone numbers of several young girls and then trying to text one.
Tonight, a classroom under surveillance.
In 5 minutes without annoying me, I'll give you back the chair.
Did a teacher go too far with a special needs student? A situation escalates into what police say is a case of child abuse.
Good evening, everyone. These images led to a teacher being charged with abusing a child who has autism. Never assume anything. You know that old adage. Well, the city of North Bay Village assumed the deck that collapsed at Shuckers had been properly inspected. Tonight, the village's building chief is answering tough questions and not having the answers that many wanted to hear. Let's get you out to Lauren Pastrana. She's live at Shuckers tonight. Lauren? Tonight, new tips heat up the case of a missing woman that had gone cold for several years, leading police to search a field near Opelika today. CBS 4's Maggie Newland is there tonight with the latest on the hunt for clues into what happened to Linda Meyer. Maggie? Fake drug arrests. Tonight, a man accused of selling phony drugs to patients who need them to stay alive. The South Florida millionaire is now in mega trouble. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Andrews in for Elliot. Now to the eye on the storm. Right now, Tropical Depression number 2 is beginning to enter the southern Gulf of Mexico. This is a live look at the satellite loop for you. Let's check in with CBS 4 Chief Meteorologist David Bernard. He's tracking the storm. And David, you can expect it to reemerge into the Gulf later tonight, right? New at 6 o'clock, a South Florida teenager who shot and killed a man trying to steal a personal watercraft behind his home in Miami Shores will not be facing charges. Prosecutors announced today they would not be charging Jack Davis for the death of Reynaldo Munoz. Police say Munoz and his girlfriend, Carolina Lopez, were trying to steal the watercraft when a confrontation ensued with Davis. Prosecutors found Davis had a right to believe his life was in danger and had a right to use deadly force. TMZ is now releasing the pictures taken of Chad Johnson's ex-wife right after their domestic dispute from last year. In those photos, you can see the big gash on Evelyn Lozada's forehead. Davie police took the pictures in the emergency room. Johnson later pleaded no contest to the domestic violence charge. Police say Johnson headbutted Lozada. Johnson just finished serving 7 days in the Broward County Jail for violating his probation. A vote today is expected to increase Miami-Dade County tolls by more than 50% on some of our highways. Tonight, how a group of local politicians is fighting to stop it from happening. And the Italian Supreme Court finally explains why it overturned the acquittal in the murder case of American Amanda Knox. Florida Governor Rick Scott's approval rating seems to be improving. A new Quinnipiac University poll shows 43% of voters approve of the job Governor Scott is doing, and 40% have a favorable opinion of him. Those numbers are better than the 36% job approval that voters gave him 3 months ago, and the 33% who had a favorable view of him. But the polls also show Governor Scott is still trailing former Republican Governor Charlie Crist in a head-to-head matchup. Crist is widely expected to seek his old job, but as a Democrat this time. Tonight, the attorney representing that teen and his family spoke to CBS 4's Lauren Pastrana about the deadly confrontation. Tracking the tropics. Tropical Depression number 2 is dumping heavy rains on Central America and southern Mexico. Tonight, it is moving into the Gulf of Mexico, where it could strengthen. New at 11, a South Florida DJ accused of hitting and killing 2 people in a Coral Gables car accident appeared in court today. In the video we're about to show you, you'll be able to see Irvins Prudent in a wheelchair as he went before the judge. He was charged with DUI manslaughter and vehicular manslaughter. His bond was set at $54,000 plus house arrest. Police say Prudent, who is known as DJ AOL, rear-ended a car near the intersection of Southwest 8th Street and Douglas Road earlier this month. 2 people were killed. A toxicology report shows Prudent was driving under the influence. Tomorrow, the 21-year-old student who hit and killed a South Florida grandmother will be back in court. Ivana Villanueva took a drug test before turning herself in to start serving a 3-year sentence today. But there was a problem. Her family says it was from prescribed medication. New details tonight on the 14-year-old who was run over by a Broward County bus back in May. Jerry Cunningham has now been moved to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where he is in the rehabilitation program. You may remember this surveillance video that shows Cunningham trying to get on a county bus when he fell and was crushed by the bus's wheels. Doctors say that the young man's recovery could take several months. Welcome back to the late news. Expect the unexpected. That's the mantra of the hit CBS reality show Big Brother. Season 15 begins a week from tomorrow, but tonight, Big Brother host Julie Chen gives us a sneak peek inside the house guest's new home.